Hello friends, in this video we are going to see about mistakes which are commonly made in daily life, day-to-day life, also in science and philosophy. So these mistakes can be told as logical fallacies. So under this category of fallacies, the first one is slippery slope argument. So under slippery slope argument, a party asserts that a relatively small first step leads to a chain of related events culminating in some significant effect. So in the right side, if you see, when in 1895, when women were granted the power to vote in election, cartoon was drawn such a way that in 2001 women will become more dominant and men will be subservient to women. This image tells like a grandiose vision which need not be right. It is a slippery slope argument. Next thing is hasty generalization. So if one meets a rude person from country X, one may suspect that most people in country X are rude. So that is a hasty generalization. Not everyone need to be rude. It is on the mistake of the perceiver, and it might be based on some bad experience, but still, a person, if he or she comes to a conclusion that it's something which has like the people are like this, then it could be told as a hasty generalization, and it is a grandiose faulty inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is based on one concluding to many. So grandiose faulty inductive reasoning, and some mistake on the belief system of the person based on some prior experiences, or like some belief system which has been inculcated, which has been taught, which has been observed. So it could be based on anything. The grandiose generalization could come into it. And here the example which I have seen is, which we are seeing is, six blind men who have never come across an elephant. Each person is touching across a part of the elephant. One is saying like the trunk is like a snake, the other person is touching the leg of the elephant, and then come to conclusion that it is like a tree. So another person is doing something, so each one tells this is like a tree, snake, something like that. But overall, all the six person they have not come across an elephant as such. So they don't know what an elephant is. So this is the case with hasty generalization. One cannot come to a conclusion quickly. And the thing is, if the elephant could be, metaphorically, elephant could be taken in for as an absolute truth, omniscience, or God. So the elephant need not necessarily represent an elephant. It could be taken as an absolute truth, omniscience, or God. There have been various versions of this story, which have this story has origin in India, and various versions of the story have come over the centuries. And the oldest written text is in Buddhism, and like an American poet has also written a poem based on this thing, and based on this metaphor or analogy, whatever it could be called. He has written a poem for this scenario. Next thing is strawman fallacy. So this fallacy occurs when opponent oversimplifies the argument, making it hollow, thereby misrepresenting the argument. So this is setting up a straw man to make it easier to refute. So for example, we should avoid eating ZFC chicken because their poultry maintenance is poor and animals are handled poorly. So if one person is saying an argument like this, the second person asks simply, so you want everyone to be a vegetarian? So he is oversimplifying the argument, that by not considering that he is mentioning about chicken, or because of the poultry maintenance, those things the second person is not considering. Just it's bluntly refuting the argument, thereby making the argument weak. So this is done by experts who know what they are doing. So this need not represent a mistake on the faulty reasoning of the person who is refuting that one. It could be purposefully done as well. Next, we will see about bandwagon fallacy. Just because a significant population of people believe in a proposition It doesn't automatically or need not automatically make it true. Popularity alone is not enough to validate an argument, though it is often used as a standalone justification of validity. Arguments in this style don't take into account whether or not the population validating the argument is actually qualified to do so, or if contrary evidence exists. So this is from HubSpot blog, so word by word. And people copying other people behavior is also known as bandwagon effort. There might be good as well as bad things which might be get copied. So this doesn't automatically mean that people shouldn't copy anything at all. An example of bandwagon fallacy is when a popular leader is elected for a country based on like many people support and person voting in for the popular person. And other thing is 3 out of 4 people think that this brand X brand toothpaste is really good, so you should also try out this paste. So people not automatically will go in for like okay, people are saying so it must be true, so we can also try, there is nothing wrong with it. So they will go in for that fallacy. There need not be anything detrimental, need not be anything drastically changing in a person's life because of that. But on some occasions when if there are any side effects because of such acceptance, or when the person questions like am I doing anything wrong, or am I doing everything right, are things going perfect, have I done anything wrong. So if a person questions himself at some point of time, then he might think like he has done a mistake when he went in with popular opinion. So at some point of time, it may happen, it need not necessarily happen, it may happen. So at the like for that, can a person be very choosy, like he can tell like I am going to choose everything very carefully and then move on with life. Can a person be choosy to that extent? If the question is asked, it is definitely very very difficult. Such person will be classified as psychiatrically, like with some names like introvert or schizophrenic, whatever it is, like mental freak or control freak, something like that. So people might get categorized by the co-workers or friends and family. So this need not necessarily translate into any action. It's just for information that these kind of fallacies are there, and these are the names of those fallacies. In future, some very very stupid thing need not be done. Like some occasions it might appear totally stupid, but simply because someone is asking us to do, we might do. So that kind of scenario possibly can be avoided by using this as a justification. And next we will see about post hoc ergo propter hoc. So here this is a reasonable thing, like I drank a bottled water and now I am sick, so the water must have made me sick. This is a normal pragmatic approach in order to solve a problem. We can't have everything in our mind, so we have to just find out the reason. If our body is fit, we have to find out the reason where it might have gone wrong, and we try to get it fixed. There is nothing wrong. So post hoc ergo propter hoc says that by faulty reasoning also we could make a mistake. So this is obviously there is a cause of mistake. There will be cause of mistake when we try to decipher the problem, when we try to pinpoint out it, there will be some sort of mistake. So that sort of mistake is called as post hoc ergo propter hoc. So there could be other reasons as well, which we in a hasty way we try to ignore it, and then we will try to say that overall this might be the reason, and this has made me sick. So this is what post hoc ergo propter hoc. Next is genetic fallacy. So genetic fallacy, like if Volkswagen Beetle car is being made in Germany and there is a Hitler's army is there, and therefore it has something evil in it when it was manufactured. So this is the kind of argument which is being presented, then we call this as genetic fallacy. So this is based on the argument that the origins of a person, idea, institute or theory determine its character, nature or worth, and author is equating the character of a car with the character of the people who built the car. However, the two are not inherently related. There might be some correlation, there might be something wrong, like there might be something that might have gone fishy wrong, but everything is like again it's shooting in the dark. When we shoot in the dark, like it might be right as well as it might be shooting something else. So next is begging the claim. In begging the claim, uh, for example, we state what the property which we like to tell heard by others. Filthy and polluting coal should be banned. So here the coal should be banned because it is filthy and polluting. It is not that we are asking it to be banned by reasoning it out like it is filthy and polluting, but rather than that we are stating simply that this is filthy and polluting, this is a known thing and therefore it should be banned. This is like an not kind of a argument. We are not getting into an argument with someone. We are just stating like please do this one for us. So this is also a kind of fallacy. And next is circular argument. George Bush is an effective communicator because he speaks effectively. So here, if A then B. So if George Bush is an effective communicator, then he will speak effectively. He speaks effectively because he is an effective communicator. It is a circular argument. So it is not trying to prove it. So this is a kind of a fallacy. It's a kind of a mistake. So conclusion is stated in the fact. Subject, if one thing is subject and other thing is predicate, the predicate what we like to tell is being told in the subject as well. So at a higher level, when we see this, this could be called this leads to a circular vicious circle, and at another level this could be stated as a Quine's paradox, where yields falsehood when preceded by its quotation is repeated twice. One thing is within double quotes and the other thing is outside the double quotes. So when we try to decipher the meaning, it is meaningful, it is not an it is grammatically correct, everything is rare, but it confuses and it is circular. We have to, it will take some time for us to decipher the meaning. So how we have to decipher the meaning for the Quine's paradox is, we should take one thing as a mention, whichever is double quote we should take it as a mention, and the other thing outside the double quote we should take it as a use. So mention will not have any property, from that no truth can be obtained. It is like Ram gave Lakshman a bow and arrow. So Ram said I am good. So Ram I am good is, it's just a proposition. Ram is saying that. So in a similar way, that yields falsehood when preceded by its quotation should be taken in that context. So based these kind of paradox and how to like fine tune us, how to understand the paradoxes will be covered in another video. Next is either or. So either we stop using cars or destroy the earth. This is a conclusion that oversimplifies the argument by reducing it to only two choices, simply two choices, no more than two choices. The two choices are presented as the only options, and the author purposefully or unpurposefully might ignore a wide range of choices which might be helpful in developing cleaner technology, car sharing systems for necessities, emergencies, better community planning too. All these choices could be like left out in order to discourage daily driving. Here a picture is made wherein the number 2 has two contrasting phenomena like victory and failure, he, she, death, death, life, hell, heaven. So these things are like two opposite phenomena. So these two opposite phenomena are presented to us as two choices when the speaker speaks. So this is known as either or fallacy. Next is ad hominem. Ad hominem means please don't believe what he says because he drinks and smokes. He's a bad person. So this is an attack on the character of the person. And another example is Greenpeace NGOs strategies aren't effective because those people are dirty, lazy hippies. So nothing has any correlation with the other thing. And the speaker knows all these things very well, and he will purposefully do this thing in order to present his viewpoint or alternate viewpoint, or give a man in a no man's land, present a man in a no man's land by providing all these kind of argumentation. So the right side there is a picture of a person who wears a tie, and some words which are used for character assassinate a person, those things are given as tag cloud. So unworthy, complaining, senseless, ignorant, sick, stupid, wicked, dumb, everything is going to come in this ad hominem fallacy. Next is false equivalence fallacy. This is the final fallacy in which we will be seeing in this video. In this fallacy, one thing is compared to another which is not equal. So one thing will be a small thing and other thing is a big thing. Small thing is different and the big thing is different. So for example, Mr. Brown might have committed fraud on many occasions, whereas Mr. Black might have committed a very petty crime of only just getting a speeding ticket. So because Mr. Black has committed a crime, he doesn't need not be necessarily equated with Mr. Brown. They both are two different types of people, and both are two different types of crimes. So similarly in science, like based on personal experience, there are two enzymes. Enzymes are ones which catalyze substrate into a product. So there are two enzymes are there, G6PD and G6PI. Both these two enzymes bind two different substrates. G6PD, so they both bind the same substrate, but does two different actions. So they both bind G6P, that is glucose 6 phosphate, and one removes the hydrogen from that molecule and the other isomerizes into another molecule, fructose 6 phosphate, something like that. So this enzyme's property, because it binds with this one, because it binds both the both same substrate, it need not be necessary that the complete protein or the enzyme's active site is same. Need to have the same property, similar properties, because it is not like a magnet is going to have a north pole and a south pole. The two north poles will repel each other, whereas a north pole and a south pole are going to attract each other. This is G6P. If it is going to be a north pole, then the other side should be a south pole. Here also it's a south pole, there also south pole. If we take in that way, then it is the false equivalence. We are equating one thing with another, but the thing is in itself is completely different. So similarly, if a society is created in social sciences, if a society is created which is new, it will have some flaws which are unimaginable. So we can't compare that society with the previous society, which was like a golden era, which is like something like that. We can't compare this society with that society. That society might not have all the facilities and amenities, and they might have some other problems which are unimaginable to the current society. So when we equate in this way, we do false equivalence fallacy. So that's the end of it. Thanks a lot for watching. The references are mentioned in each slide, and there are many other references which can be got through internet, and there might be many references else which I might have missed to mention. So I'm sorry for that. And there are still many more fallacies are there, and I will try to post another video if possible. Thanks a lot for watching.